Before we begin, yes, I understand there is a part 1 in this title, and I get it. However, Paramount has rebranded to just being Dead Reckoning. So before I get anybody to say, when I show the poster, that, hey, you failed to mention it's part 1, it's because realistically, the next movie isn't called Dead Reckoning Part 2, it's just called The Final Reckoning. That is why I'm just simply referring to it on the just name alone rather than adding that extra part. It's a small nitpick, but it is one that I know maybe some people might be bothered by. Just wanted to mention that. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is again directed by Christopher McQuarrie and written by Christopher McQuarrie and Erik Jendresen. The film stars Tom Cruise, Hayley Atwell, Ving, Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby, Isaiah Morales, Tom Klementieff, Mariela, Garriga, and Henry Seisen. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, Ethan Hunt and his IMF team must track down a dangerous weapon before it falls into the wrong hands. Another Mission Impossible movie, folks. This franchise has already now hit its peak with Fallout. If you had seen my previous review on that film, I love it. It's easily my favorite of the Mission Impossible movies, and without a doubt, I just think to myself, how could they ever get to that level, or how could they even top that? I mean, that movie is just perfect in my mind for being a Mission Impossible movie, that it'd just be crazy enough to think that we need to reach above that when you've already just hit the peak. You already did. You managed to get to the mountaintop and you managed to succeed. What more can you really ask for in terms of this film? But either way, we got, but only half of the story, since this, at the time when it came out, it was only part 1 of a two-parter, and that has now been changed to just being simply, here's the first half and here's the second one that's just named differently. I thought that this was one of my favorite movies of 2023. Hands down, is one of the best action movies to have come out that year, and I still think it's an amazing time after rewatching it. I still really like Dead Reckoning, and I still think it's an enjoyable and technical achievement in action movie blockbuster material. Without a doubt, that is what it is. That's what most of these movies have done. They have proven and pushed the envelope with regards to what a summer blockbuster needs to be and what an action movie needs to be. I do have one issue, but before addressing it, here are the positives that I have to say. The performances, they're still stellar, they're still amazing. Cruise, once again, is still commanding and determined as Ethan Hunt. As always, this man puts himself in death-defying stunts in dangerous situations, but yet this man still perseveres and still delivers a great performance. Overall, this man truly loves his character, he loves this franchise, he will die for it, okay? He has shown that multiple times, people. This man's crazy, but god dang it, I gotta give credit where credit is due. If he's gonna die something, he might as well do something that he loves doing. So yeah, I really think that he is still commanding and still a action hero lead, especially in this day and age. He is easily still one of the last remaining action stars of his generation, or at least of previous Hollywood. For him to still have that charisma, charm, but also likability, as well as determination and badass nature to him, that's always awesome. Hayley Atwell is a fascinating addition to the series, and along with the rest of the cast, everyone is top notch. But Hayley Atwell, I never thought I would ever see Peggy Carter join the Mission Impossible series, but here we are, and she's a great addition to this. Her character is just a lot of fun, and she and Tom Cruise, they have great back and forth banter and a great dynamic in the film that I found myself really enjoying their relationship and their dynamic throughout the entire film. The direction is phenomenal. Again, director Christopher McQuarrie still knows how to deliver on the thrills and spectacle of what the series delivers on, keeping it consistent with what his previous entries were. It's still his film, but it is still one that shows how much Mission Impossible just knows how to evolve, adapt, and still give audiences the thrills and entertainment value that they come to expect with this franchise. No matter what, I gotta give props to McQuarrie on keeping Mission Impossible as heightened on tension, and as well as how it is showcased, how he presents the action as it goes along. This man is a true genius when it comes to action movies, and I still hope and want to see him still prosper more outside of Mission Impossible. I still would like him to do more action movies that shows how much he can be really innovative with regards to making sure he knows how to deliver on everything that moviegoers want to see with an action movie, but also really a summer blockbuster. Because I truly think that he has cracked the formula, okay? If you look at most of the Mission Impossible movies, especially the ones he's done, I gotta give him credit. He knows how to do it well. He, out of all the directors, just cracked it. After 2 outings, and even though the last one was perfect, he just still knows how to keep on going with it. The action is incredible. Every fight, chase, and stunt is all top tier. No matter what, they prioritize the action with every film in this franchise. It is amazing to me on how much Mission Impossible, and this is the 7th film in this franchise, they still know how to make a huge spectacle and how to have a fun time with crafting these action sequences and making it a combination of being tense, thrilling, and funny. Because there are a couple of moments in this movie where there are some genuinely funny laughs during the action sequences, and it's crazy to me on how much it blends so well into the movie. It never feels forced, it never feels like it never fits. It all feels fluent. Every time the action happens, it's always consistent. It never feels like it ever becomes boring, dull. It is all top-notch action. The cinematography is stunning. Cinematographer Fraser Taggart shoots a gorgeous and exciting movie that showcases all the action in its glory, always on point with capturing everything very well. The way the camera moves throughout this movie, always precise. And it almost feels like Christopher McQuarrie and Fraser Taggart just knew how this movie was going to look, how it was all going to be captured. And it is amazing to watch how this movie showcases that action. There are a lot of times. There's even that famous stunt of Tom Cruise going on a cliffside with a bike and he just jumps. And that looked amazing on camera. It looked incredibly gorgeous and awesome at the same time and scary. And even in the fights, especially one involving a little tight corridor with Cruise and having to fight off a henchman and Klementieff's character, Paris. That was thrilling. That was engaging. And it showcases how much they want you to feel the moment happening. No matter how the outcome is going to be, you cannot deny they managed to know how this movie should always, or rather this franchise should always look like. It always feels precise and it feels so on point. The music is fantastic. Once again, composer Lauren Balfe still delivers on the intensity and high-octane nature this series is known for. It also feels haunting and eerie, just like how the previous film did with its score. And the way it just knows how to get, it's almost like you got goosebumps whenever that Mission Impossible theme song hits. Ooh, it's amazing. It's so great to see and to hear music like this from a composer who just knows how to heighten tension, how to get people to be in suspense at the edge of their seat. And he manages to do it. He just knows how this movie should be. And again, I like when a director and even a composer, they're on the same lingo. They know what they want audiences to feel in the moment, and they just communicate so well, and the music just adds to the tension as the film goes on. The production is spectacular. As always, all the efforts, talent is on full display throughout the film. From the stunts, set work, and crew work, it never slips up. If there is one thing I have always praised the Mission Impossible movies, is the amount of production value that has always been put into these movies to bring together an old school summer blockbuster. And it is incredible to see that talent and those efforts be paid off when this movie is put together amazingly. And it shows how much time and hard work was showcased throughout this film. And even when you look at some of the behind the scenes, like how they had the train, they actually built a train. It's amazing to me. It honestly blows my mind to showcase how much crew work is so important for a movie. Without a crew, your movie can never exist or be as amazing as it can be. And I always support that. I do, because I do think that that is a key element to a filmmaking perspective, a production team that knows what they want to make, or at least follow what the filmmakers have in mind. And the efforts here, they're just flawless. They're just amazing. The story is investing. Seeing Hunt and team hunting down a key while dealing with a powerful and dangerous AI made for an exciting watch, making for a true blockbuster. Now, I will say, some people may think that it's dumb or stupid, but honestly, I think for what Mission Impossible goes for, I mean, I'm not looking for Shakespeare. If you're at least giving me such a fun time, and one that showcases the amount of effort into the action and into the performances and with the music as well. That's all that matters, and I think it does elevate the story. I think that's always been the secret with Mission Impossible, because you can look at some of these stories and say that they're generic, but it's the other efforts that put into it that makes actually the story, I think, elevate even more. And having this deal with AI is interesting, especially in a time and age where we're seeing AI become more and more prevalent and is becoming more of a threat in terms of replacing people and work and also spreading disinformation. And I think that is a really cool idea to explore that topic. Now, I will get into the issue I have with it, but for the most part, I do respect how this film addresses AI in today's climate. Now, people may think it's far fetched, but I won't deny with how things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if we'll get to it at that point. Who knows? The writing is great. Writers McQuarrie and Jendresen balances the tension and drama out well enough, being on the same level as what the series is known for. There's never a point in time where it jumps the shark or becomes too wacky and too goofy. The writing, for the most part, is very much subdued. It all feels as in line with how the series is known for, and I gotta give credit to McQuarrie and Jendresen. They make sure that that succeeds in that Mission Impossible style. I mean, I'm not asking for much, but at the very least, hey, if you give me lines that work, or at the very least have characters that can feel as fun as they are and be delivered very well by the actors themselves, I mean, I'm all for it. The editing is really good. Every cut is on point and fluent whenever the action happens, never missing a beat. If there is one thing I respect for an action movie to do, is to have good editing. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably have editing for a lot of action movies that is complete shit. And Mission Impossible, there's never been a dull moment with regards to their editing. They have always hit pretty well, but this movie in particular, I think, hits the best because it just knows how to precisely cut at the right angle and always making sure that it never feels inconsistent or it just changes drastically. It always feels very much laser focused throughout the duration of the movie. Everything is perfect. But there is one issue that I have that could have been a little bit better if you ask me. Rewatching the movie, I had the same feeling when I watched it for the first time, and I still feel it the same way. So here's my only negative. The villain is underwhelming. Though the entity, which is what the AI is called, is a good idea, especially for, like I mentioned, for today, there's nothing more outside of just being all-knowing. Clever in the idea, just not enough to justify the villainy. I like how it explores it and how it talks about how AI can gather information and how it can be used to be manipulative. You see that a couple of times in the movie, but not enough to where it makes it a huge threat. For as much as we worry about how disinformation can be changed and altered by AI, can generate it into where it can be misleading, be falsified, it can be dangerous in a way. And while I understand that some people may say Gabriel's really the villain, he's more of like that human villain that they have to face because one's a digital enemy versus you have to have somebody fight Tom Cruise. So Isaac Morales has to be that guy. And, you know, he's really good in the movie. I think he is mysterious and I think he's really intriguing, although I do think that I hope maybe this next movie does explain a little bit more about his relationship with Ethan, because of course he's from Ethan's past before the IMF, but I just would like to know a little bit more. But as of for now, he works well into the movie. He fits the role what he needs to be, but the entity itself I think could have been a little bit more and could have showcased how much truly evil an AI sentient being can really just truly screw things up, especially for the world. And I just kind of feel like they only showed it a couple times. As always, the series delivers, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning sticks the landing pretty well. It gives fans and audiences what they're looking for in an action film, and just an overall blockbuster, okay? And it just showcases how much a summer blockbuster is supposed to be. A movie like this, on this level, technicality, is truly astonishing how much Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie, they just get it. They know what audiences go for. The only crime that this movie has as being a huge problem and one that kind of makes me mad is when this was released. So this was released in 2023. Now, so many people will think, well, what's the problem with that? And it's not really a negative against the movie. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, what went wrong and why this movie fortunately didn't do well breaking even with the box office is because of its release date, which was July, people. And if you don't remember, in 2023, what were people talking about, especially in July? Barbenheimer. This was released 1 week before Barbenheimer. Who thought that was a good idea? Who? I'm serious, because that was just a really dumb idea and you dropped the ball and you ultimately hurt yourself because you went up against a phenomenon. And don't get me wrong, it's memeable and it will be remembered in movie culture, but like, why did you think that was a good idea to go up against it? I don't know. Somebody at Paramount must have thought, oh, well, we can do that because, I mean, it's an American film, but at the same time, you just screwed yourself over with two movies that the internet could not stop talking about and was taking the world by storm. So, I mean, honestly, shame on anyone who picked that release date, but I digress. I'm going to give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning a 9 out of 10. This is still an amazing action movie that still delivers on everything people come to see with this franchise, and I really do believe that Mission Impossible is one of those franchises that just knows what it gives people, and it has never, if you ask me, fallen off any lower. Besides 2, everything else for the most part has been good to great to amazing to fantastic. It's astonishing to see an action series, even to this day, just always hitting on cylinders, always knowing how action movie could be as amazing, if not fantastic, as ever. And that is a testament to the people behind these movies and to Tom Cruise, because he truly loves this series and he truly shows how much that a movie like this is why people go to the movies. As much as that is stupid, especially for something like an action series, he's not wrong. And I give him credit for that. I give him my absolute thanks to bringing people back in the theater. Okay, if there's one man I gotta praise, it's Mr. I'm gonna kill myself on every movie. I cannot deny that. So I will soon be doing my review for The Final Reckoning. So yes, look forward to that review and other reviews coming soon.